Our guest today on Bite the Mic, who has no hair issues whatsoever, is the golden boy, Oscar De La Hoya. What up, Oscar?
Because I went with Dr. Bosley.
Is that true? Oscar, you have a fine head of hair.
My dad. My dad's got a,
It runs in the family.
It runs in the family, but I'm sure I'll lose it soon. I hope I don't, because I have a flat head. I have a freaking flat head.
Mike, you lucked out. You have a pretty good bald head. Not everybody can pull off
thank you, David.
Not everyone can pull off the straight baldy. Yours is pretty good. Oscar, thank you for having us at your Golden Boy Studios. First of all,
oh, thank you. No, it's an honor.
I think this entire part of Los Angeles is called the Golden Boy area.
The ambience of Golden Boy.
Yeah, the whole downtown. Did you ever think as a kid that you'd have a nice big Golden Boy building?
Never in a million years, man.
Never, huh?
Never.
When did
I see people like me? I'm sure Mike can relate. People like me, like you come out of East LA, tough neighborhood. There was when I used to go running in the morning at 10, like 5 a.m. A crack house was right in front of us. I would see them still partying and having a good time, and I would be running every morning, and so people like me shouldn't even be alive now. You
were never tempted to stop by the crack house for just a quick smoke?
Not at that age. Not at that age. My dad would kick my ass.
Just a quick crack on the jog. And I mean, it's funny because you guys are from totally different parts of the country, but Mike, Brownsville, no treat to hang out in either. When was the last time you were in Brownsville?
A month ago.
How similar is it? Has it started to gentrify at all?
It's gentrifying.
Really? What are your thoughts on that? Does it make you happy or sad?
Well, I'm very happy. It's a nice place now. Because before, no white guys can go through there before.
Now there's a Starbucks on every corner.
And a Starbucks on every corner, and it's totally white.
It's a mixed bag, right? Because if you can afford to survive through gentrification,
right,
then your neighborhood just got much better. There's more stuff there. There's more businesses.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I don't know where they go. I don't know what happens. What was your childhood neighborhood like now? Is it the same, Oscar?
It's still the same. You got a lot of gangs and the Latinos, the Mexicans, and but it's gentrifying, little by little.
Were you ever? No one ever pushed you towards a gang as a kid?
No, because check this story out. So I used to run every morning, like at 5 a.m. My dad would wake me up. I used to sleep in a garage, and I would pass by that crack house, and so after a while, the head guy of the gang, I was coming back from school, and he tells me, "Hey kid, you're protected." I didn't know. At the time, I didn't know. Like, what do you mean I'm protected? Yeah, you're protected. We got your back. So
we want to see you do good.
Yeah, we want to see you do good. We're gonna protect because at that time I was fighting amateur, and my name would come out in the local newspaper. Oscar from East LA, he won the local Golden Gloves or so. And so I was protected, and they never asked me to be in a gang. They went, so.
Isn't that interesting? That line's always interesting of like gangs. A lot of times your stories like that. There's certain people who they would realize were not meant for that lifestyle and would sort of be like, we want to see you do well and not be a part of this.
Well, I mean, I think the reason for me why they didn't touch me and they left me alone is because I had to show. I showed them like, hey, I had some boxing taught me discipline. It taught me to be a man. It taught me to be somewhat responsible. When I was in the gym and when I was training, it taught me to be to toughen up and to be a little responsible.
You're locked in a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you think, you mentioned this on Hot 97 last time I saw you, they're talking now about Pacquiao and Conor McGregor. I got to be honest, I think I'd be more interested in seeing you and Conor McGregor. Mike, what do you think about Oscar De La Hoya and Conor McGregor?
Does Oscar want to fight Conor?
You know what? I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I don't think about it then.
Did you believe that though? Do you think he believes?
No, I'll tell you one thing. I think I would take him out in one round. I really do.
See, Mike, does someone really mean they're done if they say that they would take him out? Because you would never say, "Oh, I'd take someone out in one round." You're truly done. He said that. Does that mean that he's completely done, or he still might want to try to fight him?
I don't know. You have to ask him.
Because I feel like, let's be honest.
I'm done.
Let's be honest. The Pacquiao fight would be almost no different than the Mayweather fight, right? Don't you think it would be the same result?
Pacquiao
McGregor.
I think. I don't know, man. I think Pacquiao. Yeah, because Pacquiao, he's exciting to watch. You know,
You think he'd mix it up more than?
I think he would mix it up more. But the thing is that McGregor. He's not a boxer. He's not a boxer, so he can't win. He can't win that 12-round fight with Pacquiao.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Bite the Mic, we try to bring you entertainment every single time. But, you know, there are other times when, as much as you want to just sit and listen to Bite the Mic all day, you need other forms of entertainment. Like you want to go to a game or you want to go to a concert, but you don't know where to get the tickets. Ha 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 ha! I know where to go. SeatGeek. Yes, SeatGeek, the smartest, easiest way to get tickets to every type of live event you possibly want to go to. I keep the SeatGeek app on my phone, and whenever I want to go to an event, it's simple. I just go in, search for the event, and buy the tickets at the best prices, and I trust it because I know what I'm getting from SeatGeek, all right? Here's the deal. We have an incredible opportunity for you. Go get the SeatGeek app and enter our promo code BITE. That's BITE. Get the SeatGeek app and enter the promo code BITE. They will give you $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase, okay? $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. It's so easy. Go to the live events you want to go to and go feeling the confidence that SeatGeek gives you. That's the promo code BITE for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase.
Who's the guy, now that we got through the McGregor-Mayweather fiasco, which I know you were thrilled about, Oscar. You're a huge fan of that fight.
Well, I was all staged. Come on.
I know. You care about real boxing, matches that matter. That's what Golden Boy does.
He was a real fighter.
Try to put all bias aside, Golden Boy, everything aside.
Right.
Who is the most must-watch fighter right now?
Lomachenko, probably.
Lomachenko's good.
Yeah.
I like it. I like his skill. And he only has 10 fights.
That's crazy, right? As a pro.
Fights. But I mean, I'm trying to be biased here, but I gotta go with the Canelo Triple G rematch. You know, that's a must see fight.
Now, Mike, you had mixed feelings on Triple G Canelo 1, didn't you?
Yeah.
What did you not like about Triple G Canelo 1?
Well, it shouldn't have been a draw.
Right.
What did you think about the result, Oscar?
Hey, Canelo's my guy, so
you took it.
I'm gonna stick to a draw. Okay, a draw. You know what? All right.
Nobody losing anything.
Well, I'll tell you what though. I know this wasn't popular, but I know nothing. But I still scored at home like a nerd, and I had it 6-all. Now I thought that the rounds that Golovkin won, he won more convincingly. But I did think that Canelo won 6 rounds, and I know a lot of people didn't think that, but I thought he did.
I thought Canelo won the middle rounds and then he won like the last 2 rounds. So that gives him 6, you know. But the 118-110 from the judge, 118-110. Ooh,
how did that happen? Like,
I have no clue. I swear I have no clue. Hey,
you think you're finished once you hear that number? You worry about the next one.
Exactly, because if someone saw it that way, now anything's possible.
And I'm gonna tell you, look, I'm a promoter. I'm a God honest truth. I don't pay nobody off. It just doesn't happen that way. I don't pay nobody. I'm not donking.
Listen, we're at the time of Instagram, man. They post that. I just got paid off. I post it.
I know you think it would be harder to do. So Oscar, you're a promoter in boxing. Everyone complains. You see, Teddy Atlas on ESPN screaming when stuff like this happens. How does it happen then?
I think, look, I really do think, look, because she's a good judge. She's a good judge. I think she just made an honest mistake. You know?
You think she just somehow, her viewpoint that day was
I think so.
off?
I mean, because she's a good judge, and they suspended her and all that, but she's a good judge. And but I was the first person to say, man, that score is score is
must
terrible.
Have won 11 rounds or something.
11 rounds, 10 rounds.
Yeah, that's hard. That's just hard.
It's hard to justify. Yeah.
What do you think this ceiling is? Canelo's your guy, but what do you think the ceiling is for Triple G? He's not a young guy. He doesn't have a ton of time left. He got famous late.
He's got a few fights. left him. You gotta consider that he hasn't been beat up. He doesn't get beat up. He knocks everybody out.
Mike, what do you think about Triple G?
I think he had problems dealing with those boxers.
Yeah.
It's all punching power, not enough boxing. Mike, what did you're known as a boxing historian. So give us a little bit of your thoughts on Oscar De La Hoya. You watched most of his career.
Yeah.
Well, just talk about Oscar De La Hoya, the fighter.
Oscar's a great fucking fighter.
You're trying to say, which thing you trying to say here? All right, keep going.
Listen, he'd overcome all the fights I thought he wouldn't win, and he knocked the guys out. And his best fight was the fight he lost against Trinidad, my opinion.
Why do you think it was his best fight in spite of losing?
He fought great. He fought great that fight.
Were you proud of that fight, Oscar, in spite of the result?
Yeah. I mean, I actually, you know what, because I was on my toes, but I was right in front of him, you know?
All day.
Combinations, pa, 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 and he didn't know what to do. And I was right there in front of him, And I think Don King's excuse to take the fight away from me was, I have to admit, the last round I kind of boxed too much, I was still hitting him, boom,
but you didn't brawl enough.
But I didn't brawl. I should have went out there and knocked him out,
He talked about he wanted me to let Don King go.
What's that feeling like for both of you guys? What's that feeling like late in a fight? Whenever I've been home watching a fight, here comes that late round, and you go, this guy has to go win the round. And in your head, you got to win this round. But I can't imagine the level of fatigue that you're dealing with. Like, what's that mentally like, getting off the stool, knowing you have to win a round? Mike, you only have a handful of those.
Oh, yeah, he knocked everybody out in the first round.
Right, you didn't. Exactly. So you don't have a ton of those. But I just wonder what that feeling's like of your corner is telling you, yo, you got to go win this round. Or do you not even care what your corner says? Do you know when you have to go win?
I actually have one fight that I remember clearly, and I think I still feel the punches now.
Who was it?
Ike Corte, African from Ghana.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember Corte well.
In he dropped me once. I dropped him twice. We were even going into the last round, and I'm in my head. I said, I gotta come out swinging, and I hit him with like 30 punches unanswered. But he was asleep in the corner. He was just throwing punches, so the referee couldn't stop it because he was still throwing punches, and the bell rang. But I knew I won that round, so I won the fight. That was a tough one, man.
I can't. There's some of those that I just don't understand the mentality.
He hit like bricks. Ooh, he had bricks in his hand.
Mike, you ever have a moment sitting on the stool when you're like, I don't want to get back up and do this again?
Yeah. Oh, man.
They're like, you got to go win this. And you're like, oh, this is not pleasant whatsoever. There have to be times like that when I just watching a fight, that's all you think.
Bite the Mic continues with our special guest, Oscar De La Hoya.
Now, Oscar, you talked a little bit about your dad and him pushing you to train. Speaking of that, and we're in LA, what do you make of the LeVar Ball family situation? Now LaMelo and LiAngelo are going to Lithuania to play basketball.
I think it's too much pressure on the kid. Let him play. I think because the kid, it seems kind of mellow, and let him do his thing. I think his dad is just a little too vocal for me.
Mike, you're a father of a serious athlete now. Have you paid attention at all to the LeVar Ball thing? Have you seen it at all?
I know who they are, but I'm not really familiar with them.
He has a plan.
I know that Trump called him a poor Don King.
Yes, a poor man's Don King. And all I kept thinking when Trump said that, I was like, well, you would know someone like Don King. I'm sure Trump and Don King have plenty of stories together.
Oh, yeah.
That go back a very long time. Oscar, how would you describe your relationship with Don King? We know Mike is very fond of him. How would you describe your relationship?
I swear to you, I met him one time.
Really?
And I didn't like it.
What would you remember the interaction?
I didn't talk. He didn't let me talk. He didn't let me talk.
He just started waving the flag.
We were gonna promote a fight, and we were in Miami, and I swear we had a meeting for an hour. He talked for 59 minutes and 59 seconds.
Does that sound right, Mike, based on your...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have so many memories of Don running his mouth and Mike just sort of standing there and then thinking, I always thought you were thinking, what the hell is this guy talking about?
Yeah, he can be overwhelmed.
What's your relationship like with Aram? Not great either?
No, it's better, because Bob promoted a few of my fights, and he's been respectful to me,
So you don't have a problem with Bob Arum?
No problem.
You consider a competitor?
Yeah, he's my biggest competitor.
Right? Top ranks.
Yeah,
top rank.
sure. My biggest competitor. But you know the way I do my business is I worry about my business. That's it.
Okay. Well, I
you know what I'm
think
saying, like I don't strategize, or I don't try to sabotage his business, or I do my business and that's it.
Mike, did you have a relationship with Bob Arum?
I know Bob Arum, yeah.
And how's your rapport with him?
I have no problem with Mr. Arum, no.
Did he promote some of your fights too, or no?
When I was a kid.
Oh, the early ones. And I know you just said you don't worry about other people's business, but everything aside, what do you think of Mayweather, the promoter? Is he a decent promoter? Obviously, he's a good self-promoter.
Well, yeah, I don't. Well, the thing. See, the thing with us, like here at Golden Boy, I mean, we have a real business. It's a real promotional business,
Right there at the top.
It makes money.
Yeah,
that makes money. I mean, yeah,
I mean, it's the top ranking you guys, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say that's the biggest?
Well, top ranking us are the
right.
The
That's the big dogs in the business.
The big dogs in the business, but it's like, I mean, the one controlling everything is obviously Al Heyman. There's a manager by the name of Al Heyman who he controls everything, and he uses different promoters, like different names, like Lou DiBella or Mayweather, and so he gives them shows, and so
but he's really the one.
Al Heyman is doing he's the one that's doing the good job.
What are your recollections of? Do you have any recollection of the first time? I think we all do. The first time you heard the name Mike Tyson, when you heard the chatter of this guy sort of coming up.
Yeah.
What'd you hear?
Oh, I remember clearly. I mean,
what are you talking about, David?
I know you don't want to go down. We're not going to go deep down memory lane, but I'm just curious about when he remembered, because I'm always fascinated about that.
You know what I do remember? The love for pigeons. His love for pigeons.
That's gone nowhere.
Yeah.
The man loves pigeons.
Yeah. That's what I remember. You how old were you, Mike?
I still got birds.
Yeah, but how old were you when you first?
8.
8. Yeah.
Who was the person who showed you pigeons?
Just a friend of mine taught me about birds.
And was he good with them? Like in retrospect, do you think he knew what he was doing?
No, he didn't know what he was doing with them. No.
He just had some.
Yeah.
So did you eventually have to go learn it from someone else?
Well, I realized that his birds were no good, and they were they weren't nourished, and they would bunk on other people's buildings, land on other people's buildings and stuff.
Which is a sign of a bird that's not really trained.
Trained well.
It's very interesting. We talked about.
Did you have the tumblers?
Yeah, the rollers.
Yeah, the rollers.
Okay, we didn't ask that. So how do you teach that?
That's just they're born to do that.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
Yeah.
They're just like kamikaze pilots.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, they literally fly and they tumble, and you think they lost their equilibrium or something.
All right. So Mike has pigeons. That's like his happy place. What do you do, Oscar, when you get away from boxing?
Just stay at home.
You're really low key, huh?
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sure Mike can relate too. Is when we leave our house or our door, it's like for some reason like we belong to the world.
Where are you going?
Right?
Where are you going?
Yeah, it's like our privacy just goes out the window. You know what I'm saying? So my go-to place is staying at home.
You also have something in common. You and I were talking off the air. Is a woman in your life that keeps things moving on the straight and narrow. How much does your wife help you keep your shit together, for lack of a better word?
You know what? Nobody can control me. What are you talking about?
I believe, yeah.
Right? You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want.
Me. Come on. I have my own building.
You're still a young man, right?
You can stay in this building. All right, go me get out the house, huh? All right.
Go back to my building. Are you happy with what's the Oscar De La Hoya residence like? Do you enjoy it? You have a man cave, anything like that that you really enjoy?
I'm happy. I mean, you can never be fully happy, but I'm happy.
What is that? We've been talking about that. Why can't we ever be fully happy?
Because we want too much shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's never enough.
Never enough.
But there's nothing else you need to buy.
No,
but it's not that,
something
right?
that he might want. What's wrong with that?
But what would it be, though? Is there something that Mike, is there something you want to buy?
Well, yes, I do, but until I see it, I realize what it is.
that was your problem. Being in the mall, I'm like, you know what I need to do? I need to cop this right now. Oh, Oscar, did you ever? Mike's, of course, spending is like world famous, right? Like we all know that there was a lot of money, and then there was less money.
Well, because it was documented.
It was everywhere.
But that's the thing. It's like our lives are, they're.
But what about for you? Did you ever have serious, like, crazed spending habits or no?
Nah, you know what? Not really.
Never did, like, tons of cars or anything?
I didn't do the cars. What did I do? I did watches.
Oh, yeah. Big, like, Rolex, Breitling
No,
guy?
I never did. I did Patek Philippe. Yeah.
Patek
Real
Philippe.
stuff, right?
Very, like, low key. Yeah, very, so... Which I didn't do the bling thing, I
You did the classier.
I never did the bling thing, but I did do the watch.
Mike, were you a watch guy?
I like watches every now and then, but I lose them all the time. I lose them else I get high and girls steal them from me or something,
Yo, Dave, where were you when he was getting high and losing watches, man? Gotta do your job.
Man.
That's the thing. Watches are like these beautiful things, but they're just right there. They're literally set up to be gone, right? Like they just hang on your arm. What do you have coming up with Golden Boy?
Yeah, no, 2018 is gonna be it's gonna be a big year. Working on a few things. We have 28 shows with ESPN.
I love the free shows, by the way. It feels so old school getting
Friday
free
night
shows.
Fights, they're the best.
I love when a Saturday night comes on an
Right.
ESPN show boxing. That's pretty cool.
And we got some really, really good fights coming up on HBO. So yeah,
And so
should be a good fight.
And so I have to ask, when are we getting Triple G Canelo 2?
I'm close. Cinco de Mayo.
That's the hope.
Yeah, that's the hope. Cinco de Mayo. Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Canelo on Cinco de Mayo. You know what? And,
Canelo de Mayo. Yeah.
And speaking of which, of great Latin boxers, we just saw the end of the Cotto's run.
Yeah. Did you like Miguel Cotto?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I like Cotto.
Yeah.
Where can you put a fighter like Miguel Cotto? Like, listen, he obviously didn't make it to the highest level, and he lost a couple of the really big ones, but he was a really solid fighter.
But he fought everybody, man.
He did. He did not run.
Yeah, he fought everybody, and at their prime too.
Who's going to be the next great Puerto Rican fighter? And that's like such a part of boxing, right? You had Tito, Cotto. You got New York. 'Cause living in New York, you got to have a great Puerto Rican fighter.
Yeah, we're working on it.
We're working on it right now, Golden Boy.
Yeah. It's like the heavyweight division. I mean, when Tyson left, look at where it's at now. It takes time. It takes time.
You got Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, what about Deontay Wilder?
You
You
have
think?
Deontay. I like Deontay.
Who do you like better, Joshua?
I promoted Deontay.
You did?
Yeah, I got him to his first world title. He was 30-0, and then then I don't know what happened, and then he has Anthony Joshua he can fight. I like that fight.
Well, that fight, Mike wants to see more out of them. I feel like if they don't get the fight in soon, though, I don't know, it could lose meaning if one of them loses.
They're still young.
They're young guy.
Yeah, they're still.
Yeah, hopefully no one gets knocked out in glorious fashion.
Exactly.
Hey, Oscar, thank you for
My
making
man.
time for us and letting us
Right.
use your studio.
Really, thank you.
Thank you guys, and I'll just go sit down back in my building and
I thought you were being honest. Oscar De La Hoya, Bite the Mic. Thank you, man.
bite the mic. Thanks, guys.
What do you have coming up with Golden Boy?
Yeah, no, 2018 is gonna be a big year. Working on a few things. We have 28 shows with ESPN.
I love the free shows, by the way. It feels so old school getting
Friday
free
night
shows.
Fights, they're the best.
I love when a Saturday night comes on an
Right.
ESPN show boxing. That's pretty cool.
And we got some really, really good fights coming up on HBO. So yeah.
And then we'll pick up there with the question of when's Canelo Triple G? Perfect. Thank you. Good call, Alan.